Lord of broken hearts and silent tears. I come to you today with a burden that feels impossible to bear. Grief is not what I imagined. It's not just sadness. It's a maze of emotions that catch me off guard at the most unexpected moments. A familiar scent, a song on the radio, an empty chair at the table, and suddenly I'm back to that first moment of loss. You know, my God, sometimes I find myself wondering if it's normal to feel so much anger amidst the pain. Anger toward you, even though I can barely admit it aloud. Like Job, I want to question your ways. Why now? Why like this? Why her? Why me? The questions echo in my mind like waves crashing against rocks, relentless, unforgiving. I think of David, who wasn't afraid to show you his broken heart. How long, Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? Psalm 13, verse 1-2. There are days I wake up and, for a brief moment, forget. It's as if everything were normal, as if the loss were just a nightmare I'd just woken up from. But then reality returns, bringing with it that familiar ache in my chest, a pain no one else sees. Yet I carry it like a constant companion. People say that time heals all wounds, but they don't understand, do they? Time doesn't heal. It just teaches us how to live with the empty spaces. Like that passage in Ecclesiastes that has never made so much sense. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Ecclesiastes 3:1-4. I confess, Father, that sometimes I feel envious of those who seem to go through grief with so much faith and acceptance. They talk about your perfect will and greater plans while I'm still here, struggling to breathe between sobs. Is my faith smaller because my pain is greater? Do I disappoint you with my doubts and questions? Mary and Martha also questioned Jesus when Lazarus died. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. John 11, verse 21. And what touches me most in that story isn't the miracle that came afterward, but the fact that before anything else, Jesus wept. You wept, my God. You know this pain. There are moments when the longing is so deep it feels physical. It's as if a part of me has been torn away, leaving a void that nothing seems to fill. People say to move on, but how can you move on when part of your heart is left behind? In the midst of this inner storm, I'm beginning to realize something I had never noticed before. You're not asking me to overcome or leave it behind. When David wrote, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Psalm 23, verse 4. He didn't talk about running through the valley or jumping over it. He spoke about walking. And maybe that's the secret I've been searching for. It's not about finding answers to all the questions, nor about rushing to the other side of the pain. It's about letting you walk with me through it. I'm beginning to understand that true comfort doesn't come from theological explanations or trying to make sense of what happened. It's in your presence, silent, constant, patient. As it is written, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." Matthew 5, verse 4. It doesn't say they'll be spared from tears, but that they'll find comfort in the midst of them. This journey through the valley of grief has taught me that faith is not the absence of pain or doubt. It's the courage to keep seeking you even when the heart is shattered. It's the honesty to bring before you not only our praises, but also our lamentations. Amidst these reflections, I sense something subtly shifting within me. It's not that the pain has vanished, it's still here like an old companion. But now I begin to notice small rays of light breaking through the cracks of my broken heart. Father, I'm learning that grief is in fact an expression of love. It only hurts this much because we loved so deeply. As it is written, love is as strong as death, Song of Solomon 8:6. What a profound truth. Love doesn't end with death. It continues, transformed into longing, memories, tears that are, in essence, silent prayers of gratitude for having had the privilege of loving so much. Sometimes, when the night feels especially dark and the silence almost deafening, I feel your presence in a way I've never experienced before. It's as if the pain has opened up a new space within me to know you, not the God of easy answers and happy endings, but the God who weeps with us and who bears our doubts, who remains when everyone else has gone. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him, for he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. Psalm 103, 13-14. This passage now resonates in me in a new way. You don't expect me to be strong all the time. You know my fragility, my humanity, and yet, or perhaps because of it, your love remains. I'm beginning to realize that memories which once were only sources of pain can transform into secret gardens of gratitude. Each memory is like a small seed of hope planted in the fertile soil of the love we shared. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126, 5. Lord, I'm learning that comfort doesn't always come in the form we expect. Sometimes it comes through a sunset that suddenly seems more beautiful, through an unexpected hug, through an old photo that brings a smile amid the tears. You are in the details, in the small mercies that renew every morning. Like that passage in Isaiah, which I now read with different eyes, he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak, Isaiah 40:29. It's not that you take away the weariness, you give us the strength to carry on, even when we are weary. It's not that you eliminate our weakness, you turn it into a channel for your strength. And so day by day, I learn a new way of walking, not fleeing from the pain, but allowing it to teach me about the depth of love, the beauty of vulnerability, the strength found in admitting our weakness. Beloved Father, today I pray not asking you to take away my pain, but to help me carry it with grace. May each tear shed become a prayer of gratitude for the love I had the privilege of experiencing. May each moment of longing become an opportunity to feel your presence more deeply. You turned my mourning into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy. Psalm 30:11. Help me believe that, even if the dance still seems far off, you are, step by step, turning my mourning into something new. May I find peace not in the absence of pain, but in the assurance of your presence. May I find strength not in pretending I'm fine, but in being honest about my struggles. May I find hope not in trying to understand your ways, but in trusting that you walk with me. And so, my God, even with a heart still broken, even with questions still unanswered, even with tears yet to be shed, I choose to trust. Not because I understand, but because I know your heart. Not because the pain is gone, but because your grace is sufficient. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. This is my anchor, my hope, my certainty. You are here in the midst of my pain, transforming my valley of tears into a garden of healing and renewal. Amen.